Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Storytime with Rob. So, as you can see, I've got the Frisbee out again, and I had to tell this story because this is in response to the story that I told the other day about Frisbees at the mall. So if you haven't seen that video, you need to stop this one right now, go back and watch Frisbees at the mall, and then come back and finish this one. And trust me, you'll know why. You see, years ago, we went to a father and son's outing up in the woods. And one of the activities that we had was Frisbee Golf. You should try it sometime. It is awesome. So I brought this big 5-gallon bucket full of Frisbees. We probably had 15 or 20 Frisbees. And all of us older guys got together before dinner one night to play a round of friendly Frisbee golf. There were about 10 of us, and this once mild and friendly game got pretty intense, if you can imagine, as we went on, and our lives and careers and futures were at the balance. Anyway, after playing 9 holes, it was all tied up. And we had decided to play one last hole for all the marbles. So for the very last hole, we decided that we would throw down the mountains, across the road, over a little creek, and hit the campground sign. So the first one to hit the campground sign is the winner in the least amount of throws. It was a pretty good par 3, I would guess, for me. And we all threw our Frisbees. Some were good, some were bad, and some, honestly, were just plain ugly. And the very last person to throw was Lane. And I may or may not have changed the names in this story to protect the innocent. He was the last and the least, probably 100 or more years old. Not really, but he was much older than the rest of us, I would guess. Anyway, when he heard my mall Frisbee story last week, he emailed me the following response. It was so well written that I thought I had to share it with you all, and I apologize, Lane, if this embarrasses you, but I'm going to read it anyway. He said this, quote, "Yes, one of the glory days of my otherwise pitiful life. It looked like a bungled shot, and you and your team all jumped up yelling triumphantly. But then the Frisbee flew off low to the left, way off yonder, and then the little breeze lifted it up, and it sailed back around and hit the post with a solid thump. All your team stopped dead in their tracks with mouths gaping in astonishment. And the air went out of each one with a sound like tires going flat. Victory gone from their grasp in an agonizing instant. No doubt about it. That was one of the high points of the restoration. There in that remote fathers and sons outing, proving that miracles still happen when the righteous attempt miraculous deeds. Your humble fellow servant, Lane." I loved it. And I gotta be honest with you, that is exactly what happened. The most unlikely, in my opinion, no offense, made the most miraculous shot heard round the world that day. A hole in one. All things aside, it was one of the most memorable fathers and sons outing I can remember. You see, whenever a group of men and sons get together and go camping, fishing with fresh, crisp air, no distractions, hanging out over a campfire, telling old stories about the good old days, and each of us obviously trying to one-up each other. Life is honestly just about perfect. I really can't think of too many things in life better than that. Oh, and don't get too big of a head, Lane. There's always next year. So get out and do something crazy like camping with your kids. They will remember it forever and will honestly think that you are a hero. Anyway, hope you have a great week and a fabulous day, and until tomorrow, be safe.